USS Kearsarge humanitarian mission to Guyana is described as a tremendous success as the Navy ship prepares to leave these shores.
President Bart Jagdeo says the Caribbean will only achieve its true potential if governments share responsibility with civil society.
And the much-anticipated Berbice Bridge is likely to be opened next month to facilitate commuters during the busy holiday season.
GINA News, Eye on the Judiciary, tips to healthy living and of course the latest sporting action in the Diamond Mineral Water and the NCN Sports News after these.
Thanks for staying with the NCN 6 o'clock news. UNICEF is calling on families to take all necessary actions to protect their children from abuse as it observes Universal Children's Day. The organization believes that many mothers are aware that their children are being Many mothers are aware that their children are being abused, yet they choose to remain silent to gain support. The Human Services Ministry has sustained a number of initiatives to combat the severity of issues surrounding violence against children. 2 officials from the ministry will attend the 3rd World Congress Against Sexual Exploitation of Children in Brazil from November 25 through 28. 2 religious, political and social leaders are also being urged to ensure that every child has the right to live protected from exploitation and abuse. University of Guyana students are calling for online registration to be implemented to end the confusion that occurs every year during this period. With over 5,000 students to be registered, only half of that amount has been completed. But there's a ray of hope, as the UG officials say online application and registration should be in place for the new academic year. Here's more.
CN visited the Turkine campus and spoke with some students who spent hours waiting in lines, a situation that the students have described as very frustrating. Some complained of having to join numerous lines, noting that online registration might be a solution.
You have to stand very long in the lines, as well as I think they took too long to begin the registration process, and as a result of that, there are some problems with the registration.
And through the years, I've recognized that this is an ongoing issue. You would hope or you would guess that persons have recognized that this registration process is a long, tedious issue and needs some looking into. Guyana has the technology available and we should make use of it.
Mentioned that the University of Guyana registration system is atrocious, and this is the time that we believe that government should intervene in this aspect and recognize that we need to piggyback on the international, more so the technological era. What I'm saying is that we do need online registration.
And the Student Society President Jason Benjamin says the registration process is worst this year. He also says there is a problem with students' records, especially in acquiring their grades. Benjamin says the administration needs to have a more structured approach in dealing with the registration process.
Being existed where students have collected their registration forms and what's, but with submission you still have grades outstanding. There is a course presently for the economics section with which Dr. Rogers, in fact, cannot be found, and the students have to be graduated. Likewise, students would like to register, but not having the availability of that course kind of puts a setback on students advancing in the registration.
The university's Deputy Vice-Chancellor Tota Mangar told NCN in a telephone interview that the issue is being addressed, as work has already started by a software engineer. He disclosed that just recently a team was sent to the University of the West Indies to observe their process. Mangar said too that this should be in operation by the next academic year. There are about 5,400 students to be registered, and to date the number of students already registered is just below half of that amount. Reporting. A group of private investors from the Ogle Airport Incorporated has met with President Bart Jagdeo to discuss the beginning of the second phase of the Ogle Airport development. Speaking on the group's behalf, Kit Nascimento told GINA that the meeting was a successful one. He says the parties have arrived at a consensus and will be proceeding with the development. Nascimento said too that the second phase should be completed within another 6 months, noting that the entire project will be finished in 2 years. The Ogle Airport development project includes the extension of the runway from 2,500 foot to a 4,000 to 5,000 foot runway, which will transform the airport into an international, municipal and commercial airport with a port of entry. Commerce Minister Maniram Prasad is meeting with bakers to discuss the recently announced 17% reduction in the price of flour. This is to ensure that the reduction trickles down to consumers. Mark Murray has more.
Happy to once again say that we welcome the price reduction of flour on the local market, and we also welcome an agreement in principle that the price of bread will be reduced and the consumers will have more money in their pockets after the savings of this important item of the daily bread. Bread will be reduced. By the amount, we cannot say right now, because we're still in discussions there.
Present at the meeting was Bakewell, Humphreys, Pearl's Bakery, Banks DIH, and Pastry King, among others. The bakeries assured the minister that consumers can start to see a fall in prices within the next 2 weeks. It is still unclear by how much the bread price will be reduced. One of the largest bakeries said they will pronounce on the matter after a definitive agreement is reached with the minister. On Tuesday, November 18th, the National Milling Company announced its decision to decrease flour prices by 17%. This would see a $1,280 reduction per bag of flour and a $20 per kilogram of Thunderbolt flour. The Milco has also urged businesses to be responsible by passing down the benefits. Consumers were asked to report if they are not benefiting from the reduced price by this weekend. A press release from the company stated that the price for bread, chow mein, and other flour products should also be decreased. Mark Moore reporting for the NCN 6 o'clock news.
A housewife of Bushlot Village, West Coast, Berbice, has been electrocuted while doing chores at her residence. Investigations revealed that around 14 hours yesterday, 25-year-old Juliet Mahabir was wiping the walls when she attempted to insert the cord of a fridge into a transformer. She was reportedly electrocuted in the process. Mahabir was taken to the Fort Wellington Hospital and was pronounced dead on arrival. The U.S. Navy team has commended the people of Region 1 for practicing good health care, noting that no serious illnesses were found. Mission Captain Fernandez Pons says the team has treated more than 400 persons in Port Kaituma and surrounding areas over the past 2 days. Details from Monica Jones.
The United States Humanitarian Mission Continuing Promise 2008 will conclude its medical services in Region 1 by tomorrow. The team has since provided services which include minor surgeries, immunization, deworming, and dental care. Mission Commander Captain Fernandez Pons indicated that the general health status in Region 1 is excellent. He says some 900 medications were distributed over the past 2 days.
The last couple of days of what we've done, what we'll do here today and what we'll do here tomorrow, I think reflects that purpose, that satisfaction of what you get when you work together, not only as a team, not only as partners, not only as neighbors, but as friends and families. As I look out before me today, I understand why we are here on this mission. It's been called a lot of things, humanitarian assistance, but today I call it just one thing, that's a mission of goodwill. It's a mission about the future, and the future is in front of me, and the future is definitely bright.
Prime Minister Samuel Hines, Amerindian Affairs Minister Pauline Sukai, and Deputy Chief of Mission Karen Williams, among other officials, visited the area yesterday. The Prime Minister expressed thanks to the U.S. for meeting the health and infrastructural needs of the people.
In spite of the great differences in size and development and so on, it's symbolic of the friendship that we both seek, and also it allows some person-to-person contact, which I think is most important as we proceed to become more and more a globalized world.
The team anticipates treating 500 more persons in Port Kaituma before departing on November 22nd. Captain Pons presented the community with a picture of the ship, while residents give the team an artistic piece to show their appreciation. Onika Jones, 6 o'clock news.